Good morning. It's good to be back. So, we're reflecting on the Synod service. That was wonderful. Thank you, Northern Illinois Synod, for making that a resource available for us clergy so we can go on vacation, get our needed rest that you heard all about last week. This week, we are exploring what Bishop Jeff talked about in his sermon God feeding us spiritually, physically, etc. I like this theme. I enjoyed his story of the gook, right? I've also heard it called leftover casserole, depending on the families, right? I've heard it called yeah, the surprise dish. Whatever's left, right? The smorgasbord. We'll do that sometimes. We'll kind of take a little bit of everything that's left and make a board. Call it good. And so it's kind of funny to hear Bishop's question reflecting. I love how he connected that with the question the people asked God in the wilderness: what is this? Right? He asked about the gook. What is this? Grandma or mom in the sermon. What did you make us, Dad? In the wilderness, right? The people were complaining. Oh, we had it better in Egypt. It was so great being in slavery. Talk about short-sightedness. Anyway, and then they get manna from heaven and quail. And what is it? This is the best you got. Where's the pizza? Right? And so it's interesting. We have, I think, when following on Bishop's sermon, I think that God often, when God feeds us, heaps grace upon our plate, big dollops of it, fills our cup and overflowing. I almost spilled coffee. Okay, that would have been a fun way to start the week, huh? Fortunately, not much left. God feeds us in ways at communion and through the word, throughout our life, and sometimes we don't know what's going on. Sometimes goodness happens in our life and we I don't know about you, we pause to think, is this real? What is this? We don't recognize it as good right away. I don't know about you, but sometimes when God does wonderful things in my life, it takes till it's past for me to really appreciate it. To understand, wow, that was God at work back there, but at the time I didn't know. What is this? And so I invite you this week to come with us. We're going to look at passages that of God providing. This is a time of stress where the operating out of scarcity can be very tempting. And I'm not saying, of course, be frugal, be safe most of all, but we also need to trust. As Greg commented on one of my Facebook posts way back, right? The previous generations have had this far worse. Think of my grandfather, who him and his family were able to survive off getting the scraps at the grocery store job he was able to work periodically during the Great Depression. Otherwise, they would have starved. Think of the early church. Survival, right? Even in the fates of intense persecution and murder, Paul's talking about rejoicing. Rejoice in our sufferings. Yeah, sure, people have had it worse, but we can learn from these things. We can learn that God delivers. God gets us through, even if during it we ask, what is this? God's with you, and God will provide. I look forward to our week together. Have a good day.